After a year's absence, the Caribbean's top football league is coming in from the cold. Get ready to witness the skills, thrills, and goals like you've never seen before. The Jamaica Premier League. Bigger, better, and more exciting. Catch the new season from the 26th of June on your home of champions, Sportsmax.
Oh, so we're back on the Sportsmax Zone. The inaugural Jamaica Premier League is set to kick off on Saturday, and the action will be live on your home of champions. 12 teams will compete in the competition and have the comfort of knowing there will be no relegation at the end of the season. All games in round one will be played at the UWI JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence. And as we continue our build-up to the start of the action, we hear from Alex Thomas, head coach of five-time national champions Arnett Gardens.
And to see football to return at the highest level, we are grateful for it. It has been really rough, but praises to my club, Arnett Gardens. They have stuck with us since the start of COVID until now, and I want to lift my hats off to them.
Okay, so what, George, about him? I know Arnett Gardens is your team. I was just showing the people that's your team, George.
Yeah, yes, Gardens. Yeah, and you got caught, no problem. Yeah, so what about Humble Land, though? Clarendon's the strongest team. Hope they can land their first Premier League title this season.
To be back, we have always wanted it. We had to wait until the Ministry of Health gave us the clearance and the green light to start participating. But now that we have gotten the clearance, we're happy to be back on the park. Players are excited and raring to go, and we really anticipate a very competitive season. Preparation is not what we would have wanted it to be. We would have wanted a longer period to prepare, but it is what it is. The league starts on June 26th, so we have to prepare ourselves. So we have worked backwards from the date and tried to put in the work so that we can be ready for the start of the league.
Lions United, meanwhile, made some big administrative changes during the COVID-enforced break as they look to cement their standing in the Premier League. Their head coach is Calvert Fitzgerald.
I think it's the best thing. I've been in football for quite a while, and I've been in and around the Premier League for quite a number of years. And I think that this is Jamaica football professional side of the game is just beginning to take off. This is the first step up a ladder, because what is happening now is that we are getting people, first time we just get people in the game that love the game, so they're in it for the love of it, just like me, I just love football. But now business people are coming in, investing in their money, and so now it is going to become a true business, a true industry.
Yeah, Calvert Fitzgerald, they're making a very, very good point, Lance, because over time, we've heard of the descriptor professional league used to describe what happens in Jamaica. You and I know the league better than most. We know that it's far from professional, but the attempts are to be lauded. But there are times when you can laud the attempts towards professionalism and give organizers a pass for their failures. You can say, oh, well, at least we have this, and even though we don't have that, at least we have this. If you look at life like that, you'll never be a success. Calvert Fitzgerald is saying the right thing, that the people who are behind the Premier League now, the Professional Football Jamaica Limited, that organization that is running the Premier League, it is peopled by some serious persons with business acumen, successful professionals in fields of commerce, people who happen to know football as well, and then they've complemented their ranks with people who are specialists in the area of football, who know the sport inside out, they know the business, and together these forces are combining to give us this Jamaica Premier League. And it is to our regret that COVID has really knocked Professional Football Jamaica Limited out of their stride before they even started running for us to see what they could really do. But if you go by the amount that they've raised in sponsorship so far, you know that Jamaica's football is finally heading in the right direction. Calvert Fitzgerald speaks truth.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, George, because it certainly is a pity that at the time of this kind of injection financially into the local Premier League competition, that COVID-19 has, scuppered the entire structure and, certainly, halted the football for well over a year. So we are very anxious to see them kicking off. We spoke earlier on about the fact that, well, not today, but on yesterday's show when we were discussing the start of the season, that there are going to be things that are unfamiliar about the league with, you know, the condensation of
The season.
And 6 games, or, you know, just a multitude of games over a 3-day period for one weekend. So teams will be playing a lot of football in a more condensed way. The Prime Minister announced today some relaxation, George, in the curfew times. So I suspect that before long, the 8:30 start in the morning that we have for the Sunday games may actually be shifted to some later times.
There will be, for sure.
Yes, so because 8:30, a little tough for the footballers to be playing at that time of the day, even though a lot of people play football early in the morning.
Yeah,
but competitively. But even so, it may be better, George, than playing at 12 at 1, because the sun is a lot hotter at 1 o'clock in the afternoon than it is at 8:30 in the morning.
Well, this time in the Caribbean, I don't know where is safe, because even 8 a.m. in the morning is very, very hot. The fact of the matter is, though, look, my producer was just saying to me that I should remember to tell the viewers that CONCACAF mandated this move to semi-professionalism. I'd remind him that from I was a lad in primary school in the 90s, there was this talk about semi-professionalism and the move towards that. Don't forget the flirtation with the original structure. You commentated on the games, Dance. I used to listen to you calling games with the Cornwall County Lions and the Kingston Lions. That was a move towards semi-professionalizing the game to get to professionalism a few years then. That was in the 1990s, and we still didn't get there yet. So despite the mandate from the organizations that run football in this part of the world, the fact is that the things that kept us not getting there could have persisted over time, except that good men and women have stood up and said, you know what, now is the time to break out of that mold, to break that mold and to build something different. And I'm saying, never before have I seen a football competition in this part of the world attracting sponsorship of well in excess of $100 million. That's what the Premier League managed to marshal in terms of resources for this competition, disturbed by COVID, as we all know, but finally set to get underway this weekend. It is commendable. It is a significant achievement. And if the money flows, other things certainly will flow. Mount Pleasant now has an enviable model. Harbourview had a successful model for many years. Portmore United had a successful model for many years. And the other teams are now looking to catch up. Look at Lions United. Look at what they've said they've done in the COVID break to change their administrative structure, to give them a chance to remain a Premier League team, to do what Harbourview Cavalier have done in terms of exporting young talent. So I'm saying, you just get the impression that the landscape is changing and that the change is meaningful. The change will continue. It's full steam ahead to professionalism, and quick may it come.
Yeah, you know, we're going to watch the coming months very closely, George, to see how the football fraternity not only embraces this new thrust for football, but how the people involved, the players, the coaches, the team managers and so on are digesting what is happening here, because it is a platform to take the football to higher levels. Because certainly in CARICOM, and which is part of the problem with the Caribbean Football Union when we have to face CONCACAF teams and teams from the USA, Mexico and Canada, is that there is a huge gap in the level of professionalism that we are battling against here. And because a lot of the players now representing, you know, the top Caribbean teams do not play locally, that is one of the reasons why they have been able to compete in some shape or form with the CONCACAF teams, the bigger teams like the USA and so on. Because if we were reliant completely on the local Premier League competitions here in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in Grenada, Barbados, and so on, it would be very, very difficult for our players to compete with the top teams in CONCACAF. Yeah,
and another thing to say, and this is not us now patting ourselves on the back, but guess what, Lance? I think that the coverage of Premier League football, as given by Sportsmax over time, has been tremendous and must be commended. And if I wasn't working here, I'd have commended it because of the quality of it. It is outstanding. It is professional. The coverage of the football. Look, before now, people just put up the football on the TV. You'd have a man commentating or two men commentating, the football was being played, and that was it. But what we have done with the football in terms of the coverage, the pre-match build-up, the shooting of features, the community features where the teams are from, the backstories about the players and their lives outside football, even their lives inside football, getting the people in the community involved in promoting the action. Those things are what a professional football league needs, and Sportsmax has been giving those things to the public over the past few years. So the coverage of the football is professional. It is time for the football on the field to catch up. And the move made by Professional Football Jamaica Limited is decisive. It is in the right direction. And look, I can't wait for the weekend action to get underway because it will mark another significant step in the move towards that professionalism. All right, let's look at what the games are that we have on tap. On Saturday, Whitaker, it's a doubleheader. Arnett Gardens and UWI, then Cavalier and Humberland. We'll be on duty for those Saturday games. And on Sunday, Mount Pleasant battle Tivoli, Portmore double holding. No need to say who's at home from who's where. All games will be played at the Centre of Excellence at the UWI. Vere and Molynes battle on Monday, as will Waterhouse and Harbourview. And with the curfew changes, as Lance told you, announced by the Prime Minister in the House of Representatives earlier today, it means it is very likely, Whitaker, that Monday Night Football, that hugely popular fare, will be back for the viewers.
It certainly does seem so. So we'll wait for the official announcements. Break time.